Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we will be discussing the Pull Up and Shut Up movement that was founded by Ms. Sharon Shooter, who is the owner, founder, creator, CEO of Uma Beauty. And in today's video, my plan is to create a look using companies who pulled up and had horrible stats as far as how many Black people they had on the executive level, and also I'm going to use products by companies who decided not to pull up for whatever reason, and it's more than likely because they don't have anybody, either not a Black person or a person of color on their team. Period. Executive level. Blase blase. But to give you clarity on what the Pull Up and Shut Up movement is, I'm going to have Ms. Sharon Shooter explain it to you herself.
Now, over the last few days, we've seen something that's never happened before, with brands and corporations publicly showing support for the Black Lives Matter movement, including making huge donations as well as going Black yesterday. And for this, we thank you. However, to at this point still be absolving yourself of the role that you have played and continue to play in the marginalization and oppression of Black people shows that a lot of these efforts may just be PR stunts. Now, what we need to do is ask these companies over the next 72 hours to release the number of Black people they have employed in corporate roles as well as leadership roles. You cannot say Black Lives Matter publicly when you don't show us Black Lives Matter within your own homes and within your organizations. For 72 hours, please hold off your spend until your favorite brands release this number. Black people make 13% of the adult American population and only 8% of corporate roles. And when you get into management roles, only 3.2%. When you get into CEO roles, of all the Fortune 500 companies, there are only 4 Black CEOs in there. You think about this. What does that result in? The average white household has an income of $171,000. The average Black household has an income of $17,000. So these corporations who are the gatekeepers of jobs have starved us for the longest time. They've pushed us out, they've oppressed us, and they've marginalized us by doing nothing and staying silent, which is exactly what is happening even in this moment, where they are telling their followers and their consumers to look at themselves and how they have contributed to this problem. Yet they remain silent on what really matters. This is not just any specific industry. This is every industry. They starve us of jobs. And when we go to set up our own businesses, guess what? Only 2% of funding available goes to Black businesses. And when you even look at Black female businesses, 0.06%. The average Black woman setting up her business gets $42,000. Whereas the average white male gets $2.2 million. Think about that. What does that lead to? Poverty, oppression, marginalization leads to desperation. What does desperation lead to? Now you have to do anything available just to survive. This is one of the reasons why we're 13% of the population, but 33% of the prison population. This is one of the reasons why cops come in all guns blazing when they see us, because they assume we're criminals, and we all should be criminals. This is the reason why when we go and look at an empty building, we get shot. Tell your brands to pull up for real this time or shut. This is corporate America. We're not asking you to hire us because we're Black. We're asking you to not hire us because we're Black.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button that's located right over here. And alongside of it is a notification bell. So you want to go ahead and get those clicked right now before we even get started. I don't want you to forget. So it's right here. Go ahead. Click it. I want to be perfectly clear. No one is trying to cancel any companies or whatever the case is. Like, no one wants to do that. No one has the intention to do that. It's about representation. So as of right now, what we know to be true, that the Black and brown community spends a lot of money on makeup. So when we spend a lot of money on makeup, we also would love to be represented on the executive level, or hell, just be represented, period, in these companies that we support. Until we actually see change, we're going to go ahead and fall back, at least me. So when I was trying to look up stats as far as how much we actually spend on makeup a year, I'm going to look down because I have to read it because I don't know it by heart. But according to essence, African Americans spend 1.2 trillion each year, and that number is projected to rise to 1.5 trillion by 2021. Black and brown consumers spend the most. That's a lot for you to, one, not have us on the executive level, two, not have us on your Instagram page. You could at least display the black and brown community or any other minority for that case onto your IG page to let us know that, hey, we see you, we recognize your talent, whatever the case is, put them on PR, whatever. Just let these consumers know that you appreciate them advertising for you for free in some cases. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's time to make a change. So what I'm going to purposely do in this video is, again, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to use products by companies who did pull up, and I mean, they had the courage enough to say, hey, this is what my situation is. We only have 2.5% of Black people on our team, yada yada. We plan on changing that, this, that, and the third. Now, it's all great and good. I appreciate for those who did pull up and showed your low stats. Thank you. And that you're promising to make a difference. Why? My question to you is, why did it have to take this long for you to acknowledge that there is a problem? So if we properly do this, pull up and shut up, and holding these companies accountable, we're not going to use their products. For me, I'm not going to throw away what I have already used. I will say this and make a conscious effort to, if I do a tutorial and I am using a product that is by a company who didn't pull up at all, or did pull up and had low stats, I am not going to give them my free advertisement. I hope that doesn't bother you. And if it does, I don't know what to tell you. So let's get started on this makeup look, shall we? Let me shut up. So I'm about to prime my face with this product right here. So sorry you couldn't see it. If you want to know which companies pulled up, you could always go, and I will leave the information down in my description box, to the Pull Up and Shut Up IG page. And every week there is like a collective tally of who the public wants to see pull up next. For those who have followed me for a while, you guys already know how I prime my lids. But for those who are new here and want to see what I'm going to do about this whole pull up and shut up situation, I'm going to use this product right here. Double up on my primer. So I take a sheer or clear primer. I put it onto my lids first. Okay, and for my brows, I'm going to use this product right here. Yes. It's like, how do you take advantage of the black and brown dollar? The nerve. And again, it's not about canceling anybody. We are in the business of growing, becoming better. And now if we have to put a pause on things in order to get to where we need to get to, then so be it. This is karma for taking advantage of people who support you. And truth be told, you would not be where you are today if it wasn't for people who buy your products, which clearly happens to be the black and brown community, mostly. What I just used, I just recently saw their response to the pull up and shut up movement, and it's like the nerve. And this is a company that I know for a fact, like there's no doubt in my mind that Black people have definitely supported this company. I mean, heavily put this company on a map. And you don't want to disclose your stats? Oh, Father, like when I saw it, I was like, oh, for real? I mean, we already know. Like, when you don't say nothing, it's like, okay, we get it. You don't have anybody on your squad or whatever. When I shape in my brows, of course I use concealer like everybody else, right? But on the top part of my brow, I use the foundation that I plan on using for my entire cutter, my face. And with this particular foundation, I mean, I will say this. This particular company, like, I don't care to write off. Like, I'm not going to miss them. I'm just trying to get rid of what I got It's not a company that I was rocking out with, period. I wanted to try the foundation out. I did, and that's that. And it's okay for what it is, but I had no intention whatsoever to repurchase it. And I think the overall of this company, you may want to guess what it is. To have fun. You know what you can guys do in my comment section? Like, guess which product I could possibly use. Now, there's things that I'm using today that I have used before on my channel, and I have given them a free advertisement. But yeah, let's play. You know what I did get though? I got some black owned brushes. Now, mind you, I knew that Juvia's Place had brushes, right? Oh, and this is the foundation I'm using. Why am I doing it like this? I'm doing my face routine like I would normally do in the morning, but oh well, we're here. Like when I go to work, because it's easier. Oh, Juvia's. I like this brush, honey. I'm running out of this foundation too. Good. We can't get mad. I feel like this is the opportunity for us to take advantage of what's really going on. Let's uplift minority owned businesses. I'm really running out. Let this be the last look I do with this foundation. Okay, now that I'm reusing this this foundation, like I think I used oh Lord. I used it up before just to get rid of it because I just wanted to get rid of it. But the finish is not bad at all. Too bad. Okay, and for my concealer, I will be using this baby right here. Can you see? Can you see? But I need people to understand that this is definitely not a moment, or at least we shouldn't treat it as a moment. This is a whole movement. We just can't demand for respect 1 minute and then get over the next without seeing any form of improvement. Like, that's dumb and crazy. Like, why would we do that? I'm going to use another concealer just to brighten my under eye. Oh no. I think I've had this concealer for a while. Again, I might blur this one out because you might automatically know who it's by. And truth be told, this particular concealer that I'm adding on now, I used to love. For this particular company, what saddens me about them is that I feel like some Black content creators, and no shame on them, but I just feel like they were just begging for their attention, and that drove me absolutely insane. To my kids out there who are really, really, really trying to make up their career and do this long term, I'm going to say this one, and just listen to me. I understand I love makeup too. I truly, truly do. But I need you to also have a backup plan. I need you to think about businesses for yourself, you owning your own and not relying on people to uplift you. And I feel like with this particular company, I feel like they folded because these Black content creators were just pushing to be seen. I don't like that. If you don't see me for who I am and what I bring to the table, then I really don't want to roll with you. Like, I don't. And then also too, like the products they would come out with, I'm just like, seriously? I even have a palette of theirs that has been sitting in my collection in the box. I haven't touched it since I purchased it. Because, one thing I will say about these brands or people who carry their brands, their photography, y'all really get people duped when y'all take pictures of these products thinking that it's deeper than it truly is. Woo! It makes me angry when I get the product and it's mad pale. And for my setting powder under my eyes, I'm going to use this product right here. I will say I never got a lot of use out of this powder. I can't even remember whether or not I truly like it because, again, I am one of those people who buy stuff that's like trending and then don't use it like that. Did I even review this thing? I might have. I don't know. Can you see that? It looks okay. Well, it's not super brightening. That's for certain. And I told you guys I'm not really into the whole bacon situation. Oh, it's creasing already. And for me, I feel like by me doing this and trying to prove a point that you guys truly need our advertisement, especially the people that truly purchase your product. I don't get PR. I have nothing to lose. Now, will this ruin the potential of me ever getting PR? Maybe. Like, I don't care. I don't know if I ever... I don't think I like this powder. Not for real. So there's my reason to why. I never picked it up. I'm afraid to use the other powder that goes with this. Yeah. Look at this Juvia's Place. A brush. And this is from the Royal Collection. This is the 12, I'm sorry, not 12, J201 powder brush. I like. And for my all over powder, I'm going to use this product right here. And I know for a fact, this powder that I'm using, that people have definitely put this baby on the map. And even with Sephora, I'm going to be honest with you, like, there's nothing that I have been really wanting out of that place, which is crazy. I would normally do the most. Yeah, I really don't like this powder. And this is, did I say this in the last video? Maybe I was thinking it. I don't know. But this right here proves my point with stuff being high end, because this powder that I use under my eye is high end, and how it's not that great. People get that misconception that, oh, if it's high end, it's dope. No, it's not. I may tell you what that is, just so you don't buy it. And I'm using this product right here. Ooh, truth be told, I really like this bronzer, but their stats were horrible. And I spend a lot of, oh, this brush picks up a lot. Good grief. Okay. And this is the Juvia's Place J101 powder brush. These brushes are mad sturdy. I don't know why I feel like I look muddy. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Maybe there was a reason why these products never got no real airtime in my life, let alone on video. But I think that's the problem that I had the first time when I used these things. Right now, I'm really into like supporting indie brands, and also too, even if the indie brands are not, Black owned or whatever, we can't hold them at the same standard as bigger businesses if they don't have anybody on board yet, because they're indie brands. They're small companies. They're just growing. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are now seeing what this movement can do. They're going to be a little bit more choicing. And I need to also put it out there too. No one wants a handout. Black and brown people do not want you to be like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and hire you because you're black and you're brown. No, we want to make sure that they get the same treatment as a white person going up for the job. That they look at the credentials, they look at their experience, they look at their education, they look at overall where these people have been, and truly look at their resume for what it is and not based on the color of their skin. Point blank, period. I don't even think I have a contour palette other than like my Black Radiance. And with Black Radiance, they are not Black owned. They're Black ran. I'm a still support them. Everybody on their squad is Black except for the people who own it. When you think of an idea in your mind, right, and you try to execute it, and for this I'll let you know because it is Black Radiance. This is their pressed powder. And what shade is this? And Rich Mahogany. I'm going to prime my eyes. I don't mind telling you who I'm using too. Is P. Louise. Did she have any issues? She might have. If she's had, because I want to say there was a rumor way back when that she was doing the most because she had dated some black dude. Can someone confirm? I think that when that whole situation came about, when I try to look for it, I could never find it. And so this is how they get us. Then your mind slips away. You don't think about it anymore. But I already said something, and this is in the shade Rumor 1. I've had this palette actually since Valentine's Day. I'm just now getting to it. I always go in with the intention on doing something simple, but because I'm kind of over it already, I think that I might keep it simple. You know what's crazy? I created a face chart to prevent this from happening on camera, but I'm going to use another palette too. I'm not going to pick this one up because even if I blur it out, you will probably guess who created it, and I don't want to do that. No. Okay. All right, so maybe this is what I'll do. Got some fallout happening here. Okay, so we just kind of muted that purple we just laid down, which is fine. We're gonna go back in. I'll probably just use another brush. That's a pretty, and for real, truth be told, I may have touched this other palette I just dipped into. I may have touched it maybe once or twice, but I've had this palette for a while. Like whenever it came out, it was a hot commodity item when it came out. I never really played with it. And we're keeping it simple over here. I'm not going to be overly complicated, or do I want to be? I don't want to be overly complicated. And this purple shade, this lavender color, it's kind of sheer. Like it comes off a little patchy, I think. So as I was picking products for this video, I have to be honest and pretty proud to say that most of my collection it contains of companies who have truly pulled up and do have some form of representation of someone who looks like me or of my culture in their companies. I don't know if I'm going to do a wing liner. I haven't done a wing liner in Lord knows how long. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I just feel like I should have something else happening here because it's so sheer. I'm going to use a purple liner on my waterline, and this particular eyeliner, like I will say this company has some good eyeliners, but I'm just very disappointed in how they're handling stuff. And I'm gonna go in with this periwinkle shade that I used on my outer corners and just go right underneath that dark blue. It's definitely gonna look a little different on the brown, and it might dust right off when I blend it out with a fluffier brush. I hope with all that is going on in the world, even outside of the beauty community, I just hope that change comes. You know what I mean? That we collectively do better as a society. This look I'm not mad at it whatsoever. Now for my contour, I'm just going to go back in with that Black Radiance powder. And then just bring a slight dimension to the bridge of my nose. Okay, this is kind of pastel-y lighter shades, slightly outside of my comfort level. Like for real, like on my everyday one, I work full time and I don't go to work with shades like this, like never. When I see people do it, I'm like, yeah, where you going? You're at work. This will be the blush that I'm using. I think I've used this like a handful of times. For real. And it has a slight sheen to it. And with this particular company, I'm going to be honest, I was pretty shocked just based on their motto. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to go over this with another blush. And I hope that these companies really take heed to what's happening and to genuinely want to make a change. Again, I can't say it enough. Like, nobody wants a handout. We don't want you to just give us something to just shut us up. This is such a pretty brush. And this is the JP highlighter brush, Juvia's Place. So for this highlighter, I'm going to use this shade right here. This company, I will tell you, I think we've all have fallen in love with them. We all have fallen in love with them for just to find out that they're pretty jerky. Let's fizzle you out, girl. Is this the one that I wanted to use? Maybe not. I don't think this is the shade that I initially had planned to touch, but we are here, honey. I've had this so long that I think that it's expiring. Expiring and looking mad dusty. Because I don't recall it being this powdery before. It's got real space cadet like. When you try to make things simple and still you step out of line. I don't know. Should I do a wing liner? I haven't done a wing liner in so long, or should I leave it as is? I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara, my eyelashes, and then I'll come back to do my lippy. So I am wearing lashes that didn't pull up at all. And when I went onto their Instagram page, they made a statement as far as like, power to the people kind of situation. And they highlighted some creators, business owners who are Black or whatever. But what are your stats? I want to see who's a part of your executive squad. But whatever. And these lashes, for real, were so straight. I tried to use an eyelash curler, and I don't think I was that successful. Once I take these off, they're going in the trash. I wouldn't reuse them. But moving on. So we're going to go to the lips. A muted brown lip liner. Now, I want to use this gray, but maybe it's too dark. Yeah. And so now let's go in with the gloss. Okay, and for my setting spray, I'm going to use this, okay? And when I tell you this setting spray is expensive for literally no reason. So I'm going to go ahead and do my hair, and then I'm going to come back and just share my final thoughts. So this is the final look. I would like to say that, overall, it's okay. Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And I also want to just give you guys my ultimate thoughts about the pull up and shut up movement. As you can tell, I am all for it. I feel like as a consumer, for me, especially a person who's into makeup in such a major way, and I don't get PR, that it's important for me to know where my dollar is going and whether or not these people share at least similar values as I do. And also to make sure that I'm represented in that particular company. I don't feel like at this point, at almost 41 years old, I shouldn't have to submit to a company or just kind of, the phrase I'm looking for, settle for a company that doesn't value me as an individual. Of course, not literally because they don't know who I am, but a person who looks like me, takes my shade into consideration, takes my culture into consideration, and incorporate it into their brand. And that's just not with makeup, that's also with clothes, with shoes, with whatever, I don't know, house appliances. Are you represented in that particular company? So there's one thing I'm gonna make sure that you guys know. I am not trying to convince anyone to think like me. I'm not trying to tell anyone to cancel any brands. I'm not with all of that. What you do with your money is what you do. But with my dinero, I'm going to spend it the way I see fit. And if these people don't see me for who I am or don't feel like someone of my skin tone is qualified enough to work for them, then we're just not going to do business. But I'm going to say this to Black people, brown people, people of color in general. Like, if they're not going to create a space for you, then we should create a space for ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's not keep looking for people or begging for people to see us. If they don't see us, we be like, all right, cool, you're lost. Now, what can we do for ourselves? So that's where I'm going with it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, too, don't forget to follow me on social media. You can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. I really don't do Snapchat like that. You can find me, you can shoot me a message. I've had a couple of people reach out to me via Snapchat. I'll respond, but Twitter and Instagram is mostly where I am, whether I actually do posts or I'm just looking at stuff, responding to people, going into people's lives. I am active on both of those two platforms. And I hope and I pray that I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.
Es que yo estoy buena, es que yo estoy dura. Yo sé que tú me quieres dar toda la noche entera. Tú no muevo la cadera, yo sé que te desespera. Pero con esta negra no hay quien pueda.